Welcome to Traders Talk, the talk show that talks about anything and everything trader related. I'm your host, Emily Elizabeth, and I'm excited to have you here today. So basically, why we're starting this podcast is because we want to raise awareness on the truths about trading, because we can guarantee you it's not very much spoken about. However, the myths and the misinformation out there, you can say there's a lot of it. And we want this platform to be full of insightful interviews, thought-provoking discussions, as well as helpful tips and tricks, which hopefully will benefit aspiring and seasoned traders alike. So before we start off, let me introduce myself. I'm Emily Elizabeth. I'm a pastry chef by profession, but I spend most of my time working in front of cameras as a TV personality. I'm fairly new to the trading scene, so I'm excited to be journeying with you guys to learn more about trading. So it's time to settle the score. Of course, I had to put that in. Okay, so today we'll be talking to our co-founders, Wan, also known as Obi-Wan, and Dixon. Could you guys introduce yourself?
Good. That's just good. Okay, so I started trading about since 2017, and it was something which I envisioned myself doing even when I was in my teens. I pictured myself poring over charts, looking at candlesticks, one way or another. I'm not sure why, but eventually I did it anyway. So so a bit of my background: I have an MBA. I'm a copywriter. I'm a personal trainer as well. But I've slowly transitioned to full-time trading, and sometime around 2020, we started discussing about starting something together. So we started X Capital, which is a company which is a fintech company, and we focus on creating trading systems, algorithmic trading bots as well, and as well as other financial products. And we also launched TradeXProp earlier in April. It's an online prop trading platform, right? So yeah, I think that's about it. Dixon?
Yeah, so me is I started this whole trading journey. I think exactly like one. Got intrigued by the charts, by the freedom, and of course the money that can be made in this industry. So yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, right now a trader. So right now we're trying to change the game for trading. That's why we started X Capital. That's why we started TradeXProp. Yeah, I think that's basically it. Yeah, we're here to help new and aspiring traders. To let them know and gain some real knowledge or the realities in this industry. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are like full-time traders.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would you see trading as a viable full-time career option for most people? And who's in the best position to actually start pursuing it full-time?
I think for me, it depends on the personality though. Let's say if you're comfortable sitting in front of the charts, or if you like to, just make money intellectually, I think this is definitely a place to start. Whether if it's viable or not, it depends on the person's own personality and their goals. But of course, for us, we like the game. We like to be in the game. That's why, that's why we choose to be in this industry. Yeah, that's my take on this.
For me, the first prerequisite for somebody that wants to even start considering venturing into this industry is they must first have a steady income base first, right? And then allocate a certain amount of it, an amount that you're willing to burn to start venturing this direction, because you are definitely going to burn your money. You have to burn to learn. You never burn, you won't learn. Right?
That's the thing, right?
Yeah. So you must have a full-time job, steady income, and then extra money you allocate towards this direction. And then you start finding a proper mentor, which is key. If you don't have a mentor, you're just going to burn your money for no reason. So due diligence, find people that you can vibe with, look at your content. Feels okay, go ahead. Start learning. Yeah, it's all
But
about
that's
practice.
the thing about trading, though. It's all about taking risks. It's all about taking calculated risks. So what's your approach on risk management?
Okay. For me, most importantly, because it is something that I talk about a lot. For longevity in this game, you must first make sure that you don't get burnt hard enough that you want to quit, right? So risk management is the first thing to even it's the priority for every single trader. You have to make sure that you don't lose all your money, because that for sure takes you out of the game straight away, right? Because when you hear all the bad stories about trading, people think it's a scam and all that. You lose your money, you blow your accounts. This happens because there's no risk management. So the first thing that you need to do, okay, I talk about this a lot as well. For example, when you trade, there are always gonna be 4 outcomes. Okay, so it's either you make big wins or small wins, or make big losses or small losses. It's the big losses that always take traders out of the game, right? And then they claim that this whole thing is scam. So out of these 4 outcomes, you can't control big wins. You can't say for sure that, I want to have a big win today. You can't say that. Small wins either is not within your control. Small losses, somewhat within your control. You still can control that. But big losses is something which is 100% within your control. With proper risk management, risk position sizing, you know how much you want to risk every single trade. Okay, so traders, aspiring traders, or traders in this game, they need to be able to ask themselves, why are you not taking that one option which you could control 100%? 100%, because when you, let's say, before you even start taking a trade, you must know how much you're potentially going to lose from that particular trade. So either for us, it will be, our position size will be about 1 to 2%. So every single trade that we take, potentially we could lose about 1% to 2% of our entire account. So we will never be in a position where when the market goes crazy, or maybe half my account will be gone, or my account will be busted by tomorrow. No such thing. So this is what takes out most traders out of the game. No risk management. So there were 4 outcomes, right? Once you control big losses, you make sure you don't have big losses, you end up with only 3 outcomes left. 3 possible outcomes, which is big wins, small loss. Right off the bat, you can see that the odds, the probabilities are so much more in your favor right now, right? You have big wins, big wins, small loss, and small wins. So you have 3 possible outcomes, only one of which is losing. So yeah, that's my approach to risk management.
But then that's the thing, right? Nowadays, and especially in social media, most gurus would preach like, oh, probably you shouldn't use a stop loss, or they're preaching like a higher gain sort of strategy, right? It's not like we're opposed it, right? But then it's just not really, I think,
it's not sustainable.
It's just not sustainable for the new beginner traders. For example, let's say if they come in the game, they thought they're gonna make like 100% per month, for example. It's not really realistic, because let's say if you're trying to make a gain of 100%, right? Imagine the risk they need to take. So like what one mentioned just now, having a controlled risk is what we do, especially on our risk management. Yeah. So yeah.
Yep. Before you even count how much money you can make, you have to first know how much you can lose.
That's the game.
That's the first thing.
But that's the thing, though. I think people are so focused on the reward rather than the risk. And since you mentioned fake gurus, I feel like that's the false image of trading that they've really been pushing out into the market, is the gains aspect of it. They try to promote like this luxurious life, this flexible career that gains you easy money. Like you said, they really push it out to be like a get rich quick scheme. So what are some like the scams out there that we should really be keeping an eye out for, especially with all these fake gurus selling out fake courses and, putting out a false perception of the trading industry?
If you want to talk about scams, there's actually a lot of different types of scams in this industry. There's definitely like the social media scams. Like for my case, there's There's impersonator actually impersonating me and asking for investment around my followers. So that's one, if we put it to scam. But then for the false perception part, I think that's what hurts most traders, especially the new traders, right? So they come into the game, they thought this is a get-rich-quick scheme. It's going to be easy, okay? So then they started to take too much risk on their side. Okay, so let's say if you're trying to take a trade like 10% or 20%, or even not really managing your risk, right? Imagine what the outcome is. You definitely blow your account, right? So it's going to be like blowing accounts and accounts. It's like just keep going on and on, right? And then thinking that, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe it's my fault. Or maybe this guru is some kind of a trading god or something, right? So then they will start to doubt themselves. Okay, so the picture that we really want to paint for TradeXProp and X Capital, we want to preach the real, how would I put it?
The realities of trading.
Yeah, the realities of trading.
The real correct expectations.
You could have a beautiful life. I mean, like for us right now, even when we're trading every day, we're basically we are living our dream. To be honest, right? We just love the game. We love to stay in the game. We love taking risk, right? So I think it's better to paint the picture, a trader as a risk manager. You're not gonna make any money without risk. Okay, so let's say if a new trader comes in, they thought that okay, let's say once you put into a trade, right? Let's say once you just start a position or something, you're going long on, I don't know, US 30 or whatsoever. Okay. And you're not accepting the risk itself, right? It hits a lot mentally for a lot of traders, right? Especially if you take a loss. I mean, taking a small loss is like a daily thing for us, right? Like literally, right? So, yeah.
So since we're all about keeping it real here, let's go back to when you guys first started trading. If you don't mind me asking, what was your first most painful loss? Do you mind me asking how much?
So for me,
Yeah.
For me, basically, painful loss, right? So I first started out trading, I think about, I don't know, like 6 years ago, right? About 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. 2017, 6 years.
I'm the risk taker type. Okay, my style is like I'm going all out. So basically, I fund my account with $500, right? Not understanding position sizing, not understanding risk management, all those sort of stuff. So I place a trade. My first ever trade. I think just a couple of minutes, I lost like $200-$300, like half of the account size. And then let's say my biggest loss, about, I think $10,000, but it's not like from the start, it's accumulated losses throughout the journey. Yeah.
What about you, Wan? You're smiling already.
Yeah. Reliving the pain. Because that's the thing about trading. It's the trading journey is extremely painful one. Because sometimes, when the market is on your side, then it'll make you feel like you're a great trader. Everything you do seems to be working out, getting results, getting profits. Then you start feeling confident. And then, but the truth is, the market does what it does. It doesn't care about you, right? And then suddenly when the market is not in your favor, but you still continue with that kind of confidence, it's crash and burn. So that happened to me many times. So it's like, the moment that you actually feel that you have a grip on things, you understand how it works, then the market punishes you. You start feeling confident, start getting a bit cocky, market punishes you.
That's the thing, right?
Over and over again. So that's why this path is not for everyone, because it's one of the few industries where you can't like you go into a marketing department, you have the KPIs, you have the standards set up for you by your boss, for you to meet goals to meet. Then you perform, then you meet your KPIs, you get your bonuses and all that, so you're doing well. This one, we don't have somebody to watch over our shoulder. Yes, this is the correct way for you to do it. We have to do it ourselves. We can't go to uni to get a degree on this, right? So your self-belief gets crushed many, many times.
Over and
over again. So you feel you've got a grip on things are starting to go well, you get smashed over and over again. Until you start realizing the fundamental principles that you must have focus on, which is risk management. And then from there, you can start gauging actually how you're improving as a trader. Because once you focus on risk management, then you start seeing that your losses become smaller, right? Suddenly you feel, hey, I'm not losing as much money as before. And then you start realizing, yeah, I'm starting to get some small profits as well. So you start becoming a break-even trader. And then you start seeing, okay, some money coming in. Then you start seeing, okay, I'm starting to make some profits. But it's at least you manage to build your knowledge enough to a level where you can start placing these internal KPIs to meet. So only then you can start moving forward. So sorry, back to what you're saying, how much I lose. It's 4 figures USD, I think 7,000. It doesn't sound like too much, but back then, when you didn't have much, 7,000 is a lot. Yeah, so
that's the thing.
That is overnight. Yeah, because I thought I had a strategy, which
I had what, like overnight trade, like negative $8,000. Yeah, I had that before as well. But I mean, like, let's say when you look at this as a trader, right? Normally I would just put it like it's an entrepreneur's pain level plus a steroid, something like that.
Yeah, on
You get what I mean?
steroids.
Like, so let's say if you start a business, right? You start a business or maybe a F&B business or something. So you won't realize that you fell on that business for about like 2 to 3 years, the least. As traders, it's like day to day basis, right? You just feel the pain, the loss, It's like just human nature. We just don't cooperate with losses that well. Especially, let's say, if you look at the numbers are negative, right? It hits on the mental side a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trading sounds like a really humbling journey, I'd say. So
Definitely.
you mentioned like how it affects you mentally. How would you say your trading journey has impacted your life outside of trading? Like, how has it changed your mindset?
For me, before I started trading, I was just a very laid back guy. It's like just have fun, just chill. Didn't really think much about the future, right? But then once you started this journey, it takes a lot of discipline. That's why I started to structure out my routine, day-to-day routine on what should I do, just to keep up with the market. To be honest, like consistency is the real key in this game. I think for any sort of aspects in life. Yeah, but then trading is really, how would I put it? Like what you said, humbling, right? Once you have your ego up, I think that's where you take the worst hit of all. I think we all probably face that problem at least once. I think for me, I think a lot of times because I'm normally I'm like I'm the risk taker. So let's say once I tasted some profits or those, I think I over risk sometimes. I think because I started out with a prop trader as well. I started out with FTMO. There's once I actually took like I think 4 challenges at one time. About like $400,000 challenge. I blew it all, just one shot. Just because I had some profits in the market, I got cocky, like what one would put it. So it's all about consistency. It's all about staying in between. Not feeling overconfident, not feeling too negative or self-doubt about yourself, but just keep the balance, stay consistent. I think that's where we all find the consistency. The profitability comes then. Yeah, that's for my take.
For me, this has been a journey of self-discovery, and you say how it impacts my life outside of trading, right? Basically, before I started doing this, I was still trying to figure out myself, trying to find, what am I made of? Because I just it's internal thing that I've had for quite a while. What am I made of? How am I actually as a person? What are my limits? I've questioned about these things quite a fair bit. So once I started trading, it's a journey of self-discovery. You find out that, okay, you can be a cocky person. Okay, you are a greedy person. Okay, you like to take risk. Okay, you're not a risk taker. You find all these things out. Then you find out whether you're an emotional person, or yeah, you find out a lot of things about yourself that you would never know until you take this path. So for me, it's interesting, and
Growth is exponential.
the growth is exponential. You learn a lot of things about yourself. So as a result, for me, for you to make it in this field, you have to find out all these weaknesses and you have to work on it. Otherwise, you'll just never survive. So for me, that has a direct bearing on my life outside of trading as well. Yeah,
It's safe to say that, emotions can get in the way when trading. And I think that would be like the main challenge.
it will.
That's the
So
main
how do you
challenge.
It
stay
will.
level-headed? Like, how do you not let your emotions get in the way, especially when it comes to making really big, important decisions?
I think you just gotta.
Don't say wing it.
No, I'm not gonna say wing it, but there's not, because we are humans. There's no way we can eliminate our emotion. So I wouldn't say like you could just wing it or whatsoever, but just to accept it. Understand that we are humans. We make mistakes. Don't be too hard on ourselves. I think most traders, especially traders, right? We've been too hard on ourselves. Let's say right now you don't have a boss, right? There's no boss you around. At first you think like, oh, maybe the boss is a bad person. You have someone to blame previously, right? But let's say if you go on this journey, right, you blame yourself even harder sometimes, especially for us. I think a lot of traders, especially the ones that really want to make it, they suffer some depression on their own, But I think the thing is acceptance. Accepting that we are human, right? We have emotions. And then I would just say just wing it. But yeah, I mean, it's just that, right? Every time you put on a trade, there's definitely some emotion. But then let's say if you accept it, you understand that, okay, this is this emotion. I'm feeling greedy right now. I'm feeling fear right now. Okay, what should I do? Right? Acknowledge the feelings, acknowledge the emotions rather than try to tuck it away. Because I am that person that tucks away
And
my
then it creeps
emotion.
up on you later.
Yes. I thought I don't have emotion. I thought I don't have all this. I thought like, oh, I'm not greedy. You get what I mean? But
Yep.
once you're in the market, right, it just shows everything.
Yep.
It shows everything. It shows the real person that you are. So at first I was like quite, I blame myself a lot. Why am I feeling this? Why am I doing this? Why do I do that? Why do I move my stop loss?
Yeah.
Why do I cut my profits short?
Yep.
But we never know. We never know what the market will react or what the price is going to do, right? So accepting it, I think, is the main part as a trader. Yeah.
Yeah, having this kind of awareness about your emotional states is something they have to sharpen over time. So you know that once you off center, that's when you start doing stupid stuff, and that's when the market makes you pay for it.
Literally
So-
stupid stuff.
Yeah, so that's why building awareness over time about your own mental states. Okay, why am I rushing this? Why am I always looking for a trade? Is it your hands too itchy, or you just need to do something? So you have to ask yourself these questions all the time. Center yourself, and then proceed with the plan. So the plan is the most important thing to mitigate these ill effects of these emotional problems, right? The problems that emotions can cause. Having a proper system, a trading system, that you have backtested over years, over many years. You backtest, you get the results. Okay, this is my trading system that I have found to be profitable. And then from there, all you need to do is you stick to it because you've done all the preparation. The preparation is where the bulk of the work goes. It's not the clicking buy and sell, right? It's like Usain Bolt. He's training for so many years just to run 10 seconds, right? It's the same thing. So everything goes into the preparation. So once you've prepared that much, you've done the work already, you've got the results that you want. It shows that you have the probability on your side with this trading system. So what you need to do is have faith. So whenever you trade in the market, you know you have a trading system. You just trust the process, trust that it will work. So even if it doesn't, you know that the decisions that you have made is based on your hard work, your preparation. So you will find that it's easier to make peace with whatever mistakes that you make, right? For example, okay, I take this trade. I place my entry here. I place my stop loss here. My take profit here. My system tells me this gives me the best probability of success. So let's say the market doesn't go your way. It's okay because you did what your system tells you to do. So it's easier to justify what you've done. So you will not question, why did I do that? Right? There's no answer to that. That's why you end up being so hard on yourself. You keep smashing yourself. Right? But now at least, okay, why did I do that? It's because my trading system tells me over time, this gives me the best probability of success. So that shift in the mindset is what helped me to manage my emotions better. Because I know that I have my trading system, I did my work, right? That's it. Trust the process. So yeah, that's my take on it.
So far in your trading journey, what are some of your personal milestones that you've achieved and accomplished that you think would inspire young traders out there? People who are just starting out, because I'm pretty sure starting out, it's going to be a rough patch for the first, like you said, you only start seeing profits after maybe 2 years of learning the hard way.
Depends on every milestone, right? It's the milestone. Okay. So I will just put it like frankly, right? I have not achieved the milestone that I want yet. Okay. But then definitely there's a little success from here and there. I actually got a profit split, a quite huge profit split from a profit before. I think just being still in the game, being still in this game until now, not quitting, still trading, still trying to do everything related to this industry. I think that's the milestone for me, from what I see, right? Because I don't really judge achievements through like just P&Ls, Because some of the traders that I mentor, they come to my mentorship and they say like, oh, I'm not a good trader. I've not been making money. I've seen you make some money here and there. So you're a better trader than me. So I wouldn't say that anyone that's better trader than you like just making more money. You get what I mean? Because everyone has their own journey in this industry. So staying in the game, staying consistent, not giving up. Yeah, I think that's the milestone for me.
For me, it's similar to Dixon. My own personal milestone would be where I am in my own trader's journey, which iteration of myself as a trader I am right now, as well as the level of understanding of the whole industry, the truth, the dark side, the ugly, and the pretty part of the industry. The level of understanding of all these things, for me, that's my own personal milestone. So we could, like for example, right now we're talking about the realities of trading. We know the pain. We know how to make it, how to be in this game for this long. The truth. For me, the understanding of all this is the personal milestone. And that we know that there are things that we have gone through so much pain, that there are things that we can share to help others, not to say they won't feel the same pain, but we can reduce the pain, we can make the process more structured, easier for other aspiring traders. Yeah, so for me, that's more of the personal milestone.
I would like to add some things, some points there. So, yeah, I think this milestone thing, right? It's like every one of us, when we first started trading, we're gonna think like, oh, I'm gonna hit this big profit. Okay, I'm gonna be a millionaire, right? In just a year, right? So let's say if you back tested your system, produce like phenomenal results, right? You started picturing, shit, man, I'm gonna get like a Lamborghini, I'm gonna get like a Ferrari in like 1 or 2 years' time. So that's the thing that caused most traders to fail. That's the thing that hits the most deep, because we've been through there. That's why right now the milestone for me is like every single day, let's say if I can follow my routine, come to work, go to the gym, I meditate. If I can follow my routine, I'm successful. That's my milestone for the day. Rather than thinking, okay, I'm going to get a Lamborghini next month. Right? I think we've all been there, right? The Lamborghini route. It's not like the cars are good. I mean, material stuff is good, right? But then let's say if you put your success on like material stuff or like milestone or whatever, it affects a lot, especially in this trading journey. It affects a lot. You kind of rush things. You start rushing trades, right? Looking for other markets, right? Let's say if you're looking for one market, right now you're looking at like 10 different markets. Just because you're thinking that, okay, that guy, I want to reach that guy right now. Right? So I think that's a part of the misconception for trading.
Yep. Because once you just focus on the P&L, if you just focus on the money aspect, the problem is, it can manifest itself in many ugly ways. You rush your trades, you over risk. If you focus only on the P&L, where the focus should actually be on always executing the best trades all the time. So you have A setups, A plus setups, B setups. The focus should always be finding the next great trade. Just like this, focus on the next great trade. It's extremely important to realize this, because
it's on our wall, but then sometimes we also need to remind ourselves.
Yeah, that's why it's there on the wall, right? So, because once your great trade, it doesn't work out, it's all right. You can live with yourself because you chose the best trade to take. So what you do once your trade fails, just work on the next great one. So over time of executing only great trades, the byproduct of that will be the P&L, right? The money will come once you keep executing great trades, but it won't come when you don't do that. So the focus is always sticking to the plan, consistency, working on yourself, working on your KPIs. That for me is the milestone to achieve. And
be grateful, right?
Yep. And be grateful for that as well, because we've reached a level where we know what we want to work on, what gaps we have, so we can start addressing it, rather than being like a headless chicken. You don't know where to start, you don't know how to measure your success. So we have measures of success, we know what we want to achieve. So yeah.
Putting what Dixon said earlier into a different perspective, it's like if you go in the game basing your identity and focusing your energy off of the idea of, the rewards, the superficial things, the Lambo, the chicks, whatever, take all that away, then what does that leave you with? Like, what does that make you? So I think, at the end of the day, really going in, focusing on the game, focusing on winning the war, not the battle, and also, adding value to yourself. I think that's the most important part at the end of the day. Because like looking at the both of you now, talking about how much trading has impacted your lives, safe to say you guys are no longer the same people you were 5-6 years ago, because
definitely
all these things you've learned from trading, recapping our points, keeping humble, always focusing on the next great trade, keeping consistent, disciplined, and also not being easily swayed by, being rewarded instantly, because it's all about the journey in the long run, and it's not a short-term thing, it's a long-term thing. Any other points that I'm missing out here?
I think you summarized it quite well.
Yeah, yeah.
So what else are you guys up to today?
Today we're basically just doing a podcast, right? I mean, it's a Saturday today, so basically the market's off. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, let's say once you put your perspective for this entire industry, right, as a lifetime thing, the whole perspective change. It get eased up. You won't feel like, okay, this month I'm gonna make like a 100 grand or something, right? But then it's just like focusing on the execution, focusing on your daily routine, focusing on yourself rather than just the P&L, right? I mean, we've all been there, and it's a tough road. We will not encourage traders to go through that, but I mean, sometimes it takes you to go through a certain event for you to grow yourself. So, yeah.
Takes being young and dumb to be old and wise.
Mm,
I'm
yeah.
not saying that you guys are old.
No.
I mean, my partner here is somewhat. I'm not sure whether we want to reveal his age or not.
So back to, we're talking about the fake gurus and all that. The thing that the reason they're mainly the reason why as well trading gets such a bad rap. Why people think forex is just a scam.
Especially in Malaysia.
People just lose money because of all the misconceptions that these gurus create. Just makes people think that it's something that's easy, something that's quick. Sometimes, and because of these misconceptions, people burn. When people burn, then people will say it's a scam. So it's like it's repeating. It's a vicious cycle, right? It gets worse, and I just that's why we feel quite strongly about this, because it gives us just that much more obstacle to climb in trying to make what we do acceptable to the wider audience. Yeah, it's just something that I thought I'll get off my chest.
There's really been a lot of money game,
Yeah, as well.
packaged as a forex trading investment kind of thing. It's been on and on for like a long time, especially in Malaysia. That's why, like, generally when we tell other people, oh, I'm trading forex or what, oh, how much are you accepting for your investments? All right.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, there are a lot of money games under guises of investment products and all that. And when we see the returns, the kind of returns, we know instantly that this is not what they claim to be. So we're at a level we can understand. We see some ads in Facebook talking about certain things. We know right off the bat, this is not legit. So when you talk about milestones, this is one of the ways that we gauge ourselves where we are right now. Is, we can see all this, we see it, we know what's up. And that's what makes us want to go on this journey to try to preach what's real about the industry. Because there was recently a money game. My friends, they were in it. They were promising like 7 to 8% every single 5 weeks. So the best hedge funds in the world, they give you 26% a year. And so this random company can give you 7% every single 5 weeks. And we know that you can never be that consistent. Every 5 weeks, I make sure
Nothing is guaranteed.
yeah,
in the
nothing is
market.
guaranteed.
Nothing is guaranteed.
So even the giving money like that every 5 weeks, a fixed, very 7.5%, 7.4%, we know that it's not realistic. And I checked the company's P&L. Turns out the annual report turns out they've been making losses year after year. But how could that be when, you know, when they have the best hedge fund managers that can do 7% every 5 weeks? I have an instant solution for them, which is they should just invest all the capital into their fantastic fund manager. They'll be making 7% every 5 weeks, right? They shouldn't be making losses. So
Probably doing like loan shark something on the,
yeah,
on the
money
side.
laundering or a lot of dodgy stuff. So this gives we're doing a bad name, and yeah, it's an uphill battle to climb, overcome. Yeah.
That's why we're here. We're trying to change the
that's all.
game.
Yeah, we're trying to talk more about the reality so people who get into the game, they know what to expect. It's not gonna be easy. It's just as if you're gonna start a new business. When you start a new business, you have to do your due diligence, look at the market, viability of your product. You have to do a lot of analysis. You have to look at your costs, your profits. This is exactly the same kind of seriousness that you have to put into it if you want to start trading, because you have to start journaling all your trades, all the data analysis, putting in the money. You have to treat it just as seriously as you would if you were to start a brand new business. It's not just going to the Play Store and downloading an app and click buy and sell and you start making money. But that's the general perception right now, that anybody can be a trader. That's as far from the truth as it gets. It's not. It's wrong.
I mean, there's always both sides, right? I mean, we've been discussing about the dark side, right? The dark truth of trading. But you may ask us like, why are we still in the game? Right? I mean, there's so much like shit's going on, right? Why are we still in the game, right? Because there's definitely the beautiful side of it. I mean, although some of the social media, they're trying to sell their courses or whatnot, right? But then the reality is, it's possible. It is possible, to make the gains that we saw on social media and whatnot. It is possible to have a complete lifestyle change, right? But once you really understand the game, right? Once you understand that, okay, this in fact takes time, this takes effort, right? It's not like I'm just gonna freaking just copy one signal over here and I'm gonna be a freaking multimillionaire the next month or what, right? So, yeah, I mean, staying in the game is really, really the most important aspects, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if I went around. Yeah, right.
It's one of the few business models as well, which once you figure out what works, then it's infinitely scalable.
It gets easier.
Yeah, and there's no other business model that's as scalable as this industry. You know what works. Doesn't matter what if what you have works. It doesn't matter whether it's a $100 account or $1,000 account or $10,000 account. Of course, along the way, you'll come across psychological barriers, because sometimes you see an extra digit, you get nervous and all these things. Then it's something that you have to work on again. So it's a repeating process. It's continuous improvement, continuous learning. So this is what Dixon's talking about. The beautiful side of this industry is that it's infinitely scalable, and there are more ways than one to make a living off this industry. So yeah, just have to get creative. Yeah.
Anything else would like to add on?
Any takeaways?
I mean, I would like to know like more from Emily's perspective, right? Because you're new in this game, right? Basically, you started off with our ambassador, TradeXProp's ambassador. So, what are the questions that you have? Once once we approach you with this ambassadorship for TradeXProp, right? What's the first? How would you put it? impression, right?
of
about
what it's
this.
all about.
What is it all about for you?
Well, if it's one thing you should know about me is that like I never really dive into anything without doing proper research first. I'm a control freak, so I like to know what I'm diving into. But I think the part that really sold me with, TradeXProp is the fact that, as you've said, you're coming into the trading world as game changers, and you guys keep it real. You're being realistic. You're talking about like the dark side of things, all the things that could go wrong, but also at the same time, all the things that could go right. And it's the whole idea of, I'm sorry, we've covered so much. Like my
It's
brain
okay.
is just
Take
like
your time.
absorbing
Take your
everything.
This is a podcast, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
It's just that one is doing it like an interview. So
I mean, when it was presented to me, it just felt like another learning opportunity because I'm all about learning new things. I'm not one who likes to learn things by the books. I like to learn things as I go. Like I'm a visual learner. I'm a hands-on kind of person. So I really saw this as, a great opportunity to learn, especially from, you guys.
Yeah, so from TradeXProp is where we hope to dig out all these real traders or even developed traders, because for you to be able to get a funded account, the prerequisite is for you to actually by trying to comply to all of the rules that we have in place, it makes you a very good trader. So we hope over time with this TradeXProp, we just find more and more proper traders, proper trading styles that can give you sustainability in the game, and yeah, hopefully just bring up the standards as a whole. Yeah, that's it. We just want people to know what real trading is, sustainable trading is, and potentially make it a viable career option. So the realities are very important to understand, because otherwise, with false expectations, wrong expectations, you will just never get there. That's it. Anything else you want to add?
why are you looking at me?
Because there's nobody else here, dude.
I mean, we're trying to develop real traders here. I mean, throughout our other programs, our one-on-one mentorship, even TradeXProp, proprietary trading firm, we're actually trying to dig out real traders, especially in Malaysia. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. Regarding the misconception of everything. I mean, even if you look at a prop trading account right now, right? We offer up to 500,000 US dollars, but we're not encouraging every single one that don't have any idea of how to trade. You just go and sign up for an evaluation account, right? That would be just ridiculous, right? I mean, definitely start small, right? Setting the real expectation, learn from it. I mean, we have micro accounts, right?
Yep.
The
For you to test water.
Understand the game, understand how you manage your risk, and slowly you move up the rank. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure whether if that's what you're asking me to add, but then yeah.
Yep.
So it's been a very insightful first podcast. I look forward to the next one. My brain's already like overpowered just absorbing what we've shared today.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
thank you so much for sharing your insights, and it's been awesome talking to you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Peace out.
Well, and that's a wrap for our first podcast session. We hope it's been insightful to you, and we look forward to seeing you trade as well as being in the next episode. Don't forget to follow our page, share this video. It could be useful to a friend. Leave a comment if you have any questions. We will gladly answer them for you. We'll see you next time. Bye.